Damn! Of the new characters coming to Overwatch 2, Kiriko clears and is easily the hypest in my opinion.
And yeah, okay, you got me. I do like playing Genji, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm still objectively correct.
But honestly, as I'm sure is the case for a lot of you guys, even though I knew Kiriko was the Kanezaka Fox girl, I didn't really know what that meant. So this video is the result of my research and my attempt to answer the question, who is Kiriko? To best understand Kiriko's character and backstory, we must first turn to Japanese mythology and its religions. Please don't fall asleep on me now. Shintoism is Japan's indigenous religion and one of its largest. Unlike many Western religions, there is no central authority of Shinto, and instead, practices are diverse and definitions are varied. In Shinto, shrines are often tended to by priestesses or shrine maidens called miko. Kiriko herself comes from a long line of miko, and it's clear that her visual appearance was inspired by the traditional garments worn by these shrine maidens. Shintoism revolves around the kami. Kami often have strong ties to nature, and many of which can be gentle and protective or even assertive and lethal. One such kami is Inari Okami. Inari is the kami of rice, fertility, tea,
sake,
and foxes. Wow. She's also the patron of swordsmiths, which is significant as well, but we'll get to that a bit later. Inari's messengers are kitsune. Kitsune are foxes that possess supernatural power and are often quite wise and cunning. You probably recognize kitsune from the plenty of times they've appeared in other popular media. Shout out Naruto, shout out League, shout out Pokemon. Though they are often depicted as tricksters, they are just as often depicted as faithful and benevolent guardians. So cute. These kitsune often choose to possess young girls, though in Kiriko's case, the relationship she shares with the kitsune within her seems a lot less possessive, at least we hope. Fun fact, it is said that those who are possessed by kitsune develop a bit of a sweet tooth, which would explain Kiriko's fondness for both donuts and red bean mochi, as described by her mother in a letter that she penned to her husband and to Kiriko's father. We'll be revisiting this letter some more. Kiriko's family has lived in Kanezaka for generations. Her grandmother and great-grandmother before her both tended to the Fox Shrine located within Kanezaka. From what we can tell, Kiriko's grandmother taught her the ways of her spirituality and passed on to her the protection of the fox. Kiriko is not the only Overwatch character to have ties with Kanezaka. The city is located just beneath Hanamura, the ancestral home of the Shimadas, a.k.a. Hanzo and Genji, and the home of the Shimada Castle. As a side note, Asa's letter would seem to suggest that Kanezaka was the home of the Shimada rather than Hanamura. Whether Hanamura and Kanezaka are viewed as one and the same due to their proximity, or Hanamura is reserved as a place of spirituality, or, this is Blizzard spicing things up with a dash of retcon, I'm really not sure. Regardless, it's clear that Hanzo, Genji, and Kiriko grew up together. For a while, Kanezaka was under rule of the Shimada clan. Though the Shimada themselves are criminals, Kiriko's mother, Asa Yamagami, describes them as having understood that honor and loyalty forged the strongest bond between ruler and ruled, and as such, were decent to the people of Kanezaka. While Asa's mother and grandmother tended to the Fox Shrine, Asa herself was more interested in swords. Alongside her husband, Toshiro, Asa ran a swordsmithing shop named Yamagami Blades, which you can find in the Kanezaka deathmatch map. That being said, Asa's talents were not limited to forging the blades. She was also skilled in the ways of kenjutsu, or swordsmanship, combat. Asa was so skilled, in fact, she was appointed the sword master of the Shimada. This meant that she would train Hanzo and Genji in the ways of the blade, and Kiriko trained alongside them too. This eventually led to a friendship between Kiriko and the Shimada brothers. In particular, Genji and Kiriko would get into trouble together at the local arcade, a fitting bonding experience between two people who never quite liked following the rules. Kanezaka remained in a relative state of stability until a battle between the heirs to the Shimada throne, after the Shimada clan ordered Hanzo to kill Genji. The battle left Genji nearly dead and Hanzo in turmoil as he believed he had killed his brother. After Hanzo rejected the Shimada clan out of shame, the Shimada's power waned significantly. In their absence, a new criminal clan rose to take power in Kanezaka, one with established influence in just about every other city in Japan, and infamous for their cruelty. Eight years before the present day in the world of Overwatch, Toshiro Yamagami was abducted by the Hashimoto clan. The Hashimoto abducted Toshiro to force him to make blades for the clan, and in return, they scarcely allowed his family to see him. Since Toshiro's abduction, tensions in Kanezaka have only continued to rise, and the city has continued to grow more and more dangerous. As Asa describes it, over the last few months, shipments of Hashimoto contraband have gone missing. Their men have been badly beaten or robbed when returning from their rounds. Perhaps most boldly of all, messages painted in bright, conspicuous colors have started to appear, though they are quickly painted over. One such example of a message can be found in the map Kanezaka. This very same artwork is a spray of Hanzo's named yokai. Both the artwork and name of the spray tell us quite a bit. Yokais are supernatural entities and spirits in Japanese folklore. An example of a yokai? Kitsune. This all would suggest, of course, that Kiriko is among those who have been causing trouble for the Hashimoto clan. In fact, in the recent dev update, it was confirmed that yokai is a group of young vigilantes fighting to hold back the Hashimoto. Kiriko has established herself as the protector of Kanezaka, and I myself cannot wait to play her.